Hi everyone, this video is on distributive property with variables. So what we need to do here is we need to take what is outside of the parentheses, which would be this negative 2.5, and multiply everything in the parentheses by that. So we would do negative 2.5 times 3 and negative 2.5 times negative 8y. So a negative times a positive would be a negative. 3 times 2.5 is 7.5. And then a negative times a negative is a positive. We're going to still have the letter y, but then we need to use our calculator to find out what the value is. So we had a 2.5 times an 8, which is 20. So right here would be a 20. So again, negative 2.5 times 3, negative 7.5, negative 2.5 times negative 8y, negative times a negative is a positive, 2.5 times 8 is 20, keep the y. So this is negative 7.5 plus 20y. Okay, which expressions are equivalent to 35 plus 30s minus 45t? So you just got to check them all. So 7 times 5 is 35, 7 times 30 is not 30. 5 times 7 is 35, 5 times 6 is 30, keep the s. 5 times negative 9 is negative 45, keep the t. That's an answer. Negative 1 times negative 35 is positive 35. Negative 1 times negative 30s is positive 30s. Negative 1 times positive 45t is negative 45t. So the answers are B and C. Apply the distributive property to create an equivalent expression. So again, we need to distribute. We're distributing the negative 9. So this would be negative 9 times 5j, and then it would be negative 9 again times k. And if there is no number in front, that means the number is really a 1. So that's really 1k. So negative 9 times 5 is negative 45. Keep the letter j. Negative 9 times 1 is negative 9. Keep the letter k. So this should be negative 45j minus 9k. All right, which expressions are equivalent? So this is like the earlier one. So we multiply everything here by a half. So half of negative 28 is not negative 56. And half of 14 would be 7, not 28. Looking at this one, we would have 40 times negative 1.4. So 40 times negative 1.4 gives us a negative 56, which is what we want. And there's the letter Z. And then we need to do 40 times 0.7. So 40 times is 28. So that one works. For this one, we have a negative 4 times both of these. So negative 4 times 14. So 14 times negative 4. We get negative 56, which is what we want. However, there's no z with it, and you need a z. So now we go on to D. So negative 7 times 8. So 7 times 8 is 56, and it's negative. And then there's also the z. So that is negative 56z. And then we have negative 7 times negative 4, which is positive 28. So the other answer would be D. Okay, so for this one, we need to multiply everything by a half. So it's going to be 1/2 times 6e. It's going to be 1/2 positive 1/2 times negative 3f. And it's going to be positive 1/2 times negative 3/4. So half of 6 would be 3, so that's 3e. A positive times a negative is a negative. 1 times 3 is 3 over 2. Keep the f. And then a positive times a negative is a negative. 1 times 3 is 3. And 2 times 4 is 8. So your answer here should be 3e minus, now 3 divided by 2 is really 1.5. So I'm going to type 1.5 f minus fraction 3 over 8. Okay, which one of these are equivalent? There's 2 of them. So you have to distribute again. So 6 times g is 6g. 6 times negative 3 is negative 18, but you need an h, and there is no h. 2 times 3 is 6g, and then 2 times negative 18 is not negative 18. 3 times 2 is 6, keep the g. 3 times negative 6 is negative 18, keep the h. Negative 6 times negative g is positive 6g. Negative 6 times negative 3h, negative times a negative would be a positive. We don't want a positive. Negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6g, and negative 2 times positive 9 is negative 18, and we have the letter h still. Okay, for this one, we have to multiply everything in here by 5. So 5 times negative 2w plus 5 times negative 4. So 5 times negative 2 would be negative 10w, and positive times a negative is a negative. 5 times 4 is 20. So that would be negative 10w minus 20. All right, for this one, there's 3 answers that give you this. So again, we have to check. So a negative 11 times a negative 2 would give you a positive 22, and we have the letter C. And a negative 11 times a negative 3 would be a positive 33, and we have the letter D. So A is an answer. 2 times 11 would be 22, and we have the letter C. The 2 times 33 over 2, the 2's would cancel, and you would get 33D. The problem is there's a negative sign, and we don't want a negative sign. We want a positive sign. So now we look at C. So everything here has to get multiplied by 1/3 or divided by 3. So 66 divided by 3 is 22, keep the C. 99 divided by 3 is 33, keep the D. So that's an answer. Negative 1 times negative 22 is positive 22. The problem is there's supposed to be a C. That does not have a C. 11 times 2 is 22C. 11 times 3 is 33D. So hopefully this video helped you if you were struggling with distributive property with variables.